If you want to make yourself a decent amount of ISK at relatively low risk, Nullsec ratting is exactly the thing you want. And I will tell you how you too can make yourself good consistent ISK as a new player. So before we start, what is ratting? Ratting describes the activity in which you, the ship with the big guns or drones, shoot the poor powerless NPCs for which Concord rewards you with ISK. Until an NPC dreadnought spawns and turns your poor Ishtar into scrap metal. But until that day arrives, you're making good ISK. When ratting in Nullsec, you can expect anywhere from some pretty horrendous 20 million ISK per hour and maybe some additional loot, all the way to some truly humongous numbers, a whole whopping 750 million ISK per hour in a super carrier. And I tell you, I have completely confirmed those numbers by asking my most dedicated former super carrier spinner. But playing alone in EVE is boring. So if you want to explore Nullsec, take part in PvP and just be part of a great community, come and join our Discord and fight under the banner of our supreme leader, me. So come and join Suspect today, link is in the description. Anyway, on with the video. Now, before we can turn on the ISK printer, we will need a system in which you can park your ratting ship, your looting ship, and keep on logging back into to kill NPCs. This will be your personal gamer cave, your base of operations. You want a system that is not your staging system, not constantly filled with hostiles, and not overcrowded with a million other people doing exactly the same that you're doing. Choosing the right system and actually parking your ships there will allow you to avoid stupid deaths due to traveling and give you a core ratting experience. Once you found yourself a system that fulfills all of those criteria, we now can go on to the activity itself, ratting. Ratting itself is very easy. You grab your ratting ship and load it with mobile tractor units. You undock from the station and open your probe scanner, park it in the side of your screen, and warp to a combat site that you can do. Once you warp to a combat site, you deploy your MTU, bookmark it, deploy your drones, which you set to focus fire, and orbit your MTU at 1000 meters. If you have an Afterburner, you use it. This is all you do. All you do now is keep an eye on your D-scan and local chat and make sure that no one comes in and tries to kill you. If they do, warp off. For this, make sure to click on the settings button in local chat and select Show Compact Member List. This will make it easier to spot hostiles in your system. When you finish the site, you warp to the next site and rinse and repeat. Once you deployed all your MTUs, you want to dock up and pick up your loot using a transport ship. For example, a Nero's, but you're free to choose whichever transport ship you want. On that note, you don't have to use MTUs, but in my experience they increase the total loot by almost 50%. If you want to be nice, you can even let someone else salvage for you. Salvage is worth a lot too, but is rather low income. But for a new player it can be a lot. So remember to help your corp mates and let them follow you around in a garbage truck. But like in any activity in EVE, you will need a spaceship for it. With there being countless potential options for good ratting ships, I will in this video only show you more new player friendly options. All of the ones listed here are drone boats, meaning they all have the same playstyle. You can find the fittings for all 4 of them in the description. As a note, every region has its own NPCs. The fittings below are adjusted to the space that my corp lives in, Serpentis space. If your corp lives in a different region with different NPCs, please ask them what type of tank to fit and which drones to load. Anyway, I also linked you an EVE University spreadsheet which also includes all of that info if you want to read it for yourself. Can't be that hard, right? Now, on to the ships themselves. The Vexor is the cheapest viable ratting ship you can start with. It will make roughly 20 million ISK per hour, give or take. At a cost of roughly 15 million ISK, it is absolutely worth it though, and it has very low skill requirements. In this ship, you can run the following signs displayed on your screen. I will do the same for all the other ships, but I will not mention it again. The next ship on the list is the Myrmidon. It is a straight upgrade from the Vexor, and with just 80 million cost it is still very worth it. Once you get bored of the Myrmidon, you might as well get a Gila. The Gila will make you about 50 million ISK per hour average, but also costs you 330 million ISK or more. Still, it is a very easy ship to skill into and a viable early game ship. It is also actually a good ship for PvP, so if you want to PvP in it and have a lot of spare ISK, you might as well take the chance. Once you got your skills up, you can consider the Ishtar, while I would suggest Marauders. Marauders are for many quite a while to skill into, and you can also use the Ishtar for escalations, And there's a chance to skill into Tech 2 cruisers, which are great for PvP, so even if the Ishtar will only make you about 60 million ISK per hour, and maybe 30 million more per hour in additional loot, it opens you gates for other gameplay styles, which also makes it very suggestible as a general skilling goal after getting Tech 2 frigates. Anyway, this is actually all from me. If you have questions about any of this, feel free to ask me on my Discord or in the comments. And yes, I will also make a guide on how to properly rat in a super carrier and a marauder. And no, that is not a new player activity. Anyway, see you guys next time.